Before we start our next episode, just wanted to say thank you so much for all the love and support we've gotten through season 1. Now we're on to season 2, and we're going to try to make 2 better than 1. So thanks for your support. We appreciate it. Follow us on Instagram at Skeen, YouTube at Skeen, and our podcast is available on major platforms like Spotify, Odyssey, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts. Give us a follow, leave a review, get in contact with us. Let us know what's going on out there, and we would love to talk about it. So thank you so much. And now, on to the show. Welcome back to another episode of Talking at Skeen podcast. Here presented by Treetop Studio. In the building with me is Yessi.
Hi.
And it was Yessi's birthday on the 23rd.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Nice. So Yessi's now 38 or something like that.
Fuck you. 34.
So, like, quick question: when do women's I guess when women stop, when they start subtracting the number, what age is that?
I mean, I don't know, because I don't look my age, so I don't.
So it doesn't matter if you look your age or not. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? There's a time where women stop and then they start counting backwards and shit.
I haven't subtracted yet. I think when it hits close to 40, then that's when it'll be like, alright, -2. I'll stay 36 for like 4 years.
Well, yeah. You've been 36 for 8 years and stuff. You know what I mean?
My mom did that to me. My mom was like 42 years for like 5 years for me. And then, then it clicked, and I was like, wait a minute. And she's like, oh, yeah, by the way.
Yeah, she was 42 like for 10 years and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. When you found out she was 42, you were 4. And then when you found out the truth, you know, it was like 10 years later and stuff, you know?
It's when things starts to click.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So, don't know what topic we're going to talk about today because we had a topic in mind, and our other homegirl decided to babysitting was more important than a podcast. You know what I mean? So it was her topic today, and you know what I'm saying? She's not here. So now we're like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about? But we'll see what we talk about. But anyway, first I wanted to say, right, it was just like I know before me and Jesse started a recording, it was just like we were just talking and we, you know, talking about crazy times, and I think me and Jay talked about it about crazy times in the episode before this one. And just like 2 days ago or something like that, police officer or a lady called the police department, and 2 police officers show up to her house. And long story short, one of the police officers shot her to death in her own crib while she was the one that had called them because she thought there was an intruder in the house. So talking about crazy times and stuff. And I think me and Jay talked about, you know, just being numb to like news and being numb to situations and stuff like that. And this is just another one. In this case, it wasn't a numbing sensation. It was more of another situation that we have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Obviously the cop was fired. I think he was charged with first degree murder. He had the audacity to plead not guilty, which was mind boggling to me because on his chest cam, you can see exactly and you can hear exactly how it went down and stuff like that. So, but it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. So it's like now it's like you have that fear. Should I call the cops if I have an intruder in my house? Because then I can become the victim in my own house, protecting my own house. So I don't know. It was just like when you said weird times, that's the thought that came into my head was like, yo, we live in these times right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty scary, especially when you have young kids too. And then it's like, how do you defend them and how do you show them? You know, my youngest, he loves cops. He wants to be a cop. you know,
Mm.
and then you hear stories like this, and it's like, how do you protect them from that? Because you're only getting older, you know, he's gonna see these kind of things, and it's like try to shield them from seeing the negative parts of that, and it's like it just continues and continues and continues and continues. So it's kind of scary.
It is. I remember this share a quick story a long time ago. When my oldest one was I can't believe she's a mom now, right? But my the oldest one was I believe like 5, maybe 6 years old, and I remember we were in and mind you, it was this was 1999, maybe 2000. So we're not talking like I'm not talking like we're back in the 70s or anything like that. This was like 99, 2000, maybe 2001, around there. And I remember she was little and we were in the park playing and we walked up to this water fountain. And as we're there, she's about to drink. There was another little girl. So like we got there almost at the same time as this little white girl and her dad and me and my oldest. And my oldest went to go drink water, but she saw the little white girl trying to get water too. So like they both did the little stop and freeze type of thing. And then the little white girl goes, "I'll let the little brown girl go first." That's what she said. And I just like immediately, but I was a youngster back then too. I think I was maybe 29, 30 or something like that. And I remember looking at the little girl like, you learned that shit from that motherfucker. Right? That was my this is my rationale, right? When I was young, I just looked at her and I said, "You learned it from this motherfucker." You know what I'm saying? That's who you learned it from. But then now as a man, right, when I'm saying this, when I've repeated the story as now as an older man and stuff, maybe she just saw what she saw. She just saw a little brown girl. Right?
Yeah,
That's all. Because I mean, sometimes kids just say something like, if you're fat, the kid is gonna call you fat. Like you're fat, mommy. You know what I'm saying? Or they just call it like they see it. There's no ill will unless it's hatred words, but sometimes it's just color. Oh, I want to get the black doll, or I want to get the, whatever. So now, like as a man, older man, I don't know. Now it's like I'm not upset at that story anymore. Now I'm like I'm trying to see it through the kid's eyes. I don't know.
I have a similar situation that happened with Mason. So I feel that it's us as parents learning, you know, because I at the beginning I didn't think that that was necessary for me to teach my kid, you know, about different shades and different colors. I just figured I don't know what I thought, you know, and it's gonna sound very I don't want the viewers to take it wrong, you know, but I remember being in an elevator with my oldest, Mason, and again, Mason was probably like 5 years old too, probably 4, yeah, probably 4. And Mason asks me as to why he's dirty, and I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "He's dirty," like, trying to tell me like, why is he covered in black? And my face dropped and I like try to like cover my son's, you know, mouth, and I was like, no, that's not it. And I told the guy I'm sorry. And then I walked out, but I was so embarrassed because I didn't know how to explain it at that moment. I was kind of like, I guess, shocked that it came out of my 4 year old or 5 year old at the time, and I didn't know how to express it or explain it of different shades and different
Right.
colors. And I think I could have done it better. You know, I don't know what the guy must have thought of me at that moment when that happened, but I know that I was embarrassed. For one, for what my son said, and two, for not knowing how to explain it, you know. And I think that it's being a first time parent, not realizing like there's certain situations that we as parents are not prepared to kind of explain, you know, and teach you didn't, I at least I didn't think it was that necessary at that young age. Granted that with my second child I had books and I had all these things, but I didn't think it was as important. And then I realized, and it's like, wait a minute, it is. My son didn't know any better. He didn't mean no harm, but it's one of those things that I say, like, as parents, we don't realize it. If we don't teach it, you know, I guess that's where it gets misconstrued and
No,
mis.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes too is the outside influences as well. You know what I'm saying? Like school or something like that. That they might hear something, or nowadays is the content that they listen to all over the place, and it can be something like an uncle or an aunt or something like that, or maybe you know like for example like sleepovers, and now your kid is in somebody else's house, and you don't know how. You know what I'm saying? You just don't know
Mhm.
what the conversation is and stuff like that. But back to putting yourself in the mindset of a child, they see. I don't know. I don't know if the right terminology would be they see the world in black and white, just simple. They
Mhm.
don't have to lie. They don't have to maneuver, try to be politically correct. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel. Kids usually will tell you like it is. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. They'll just tell you how it be. You know what I'm saying? And now that like I said, being older now I can just think about it. Maybe the little girl just saw a brown little girl and said, "Oh, I'm gonna let the little, the brown girl go first." You know what I'm saying? And then us as adults, right? Because now we've seen some of the injustices, we've seen some of the racial prejudice and stuff like that. Now we automatically switch. Oh, this little racist motherfucker. Because that was my initial was not even. I looked at the girl, then I looked at him, and I was like, "That's where she gets it from, you son of a bitch." In my head,
Yeah.
right? But sometimes kids are just, you know what I'm saying. Kids will tell you the truth. Like kids will be like, "Yo, you fat," you know.
But then
You
it's
know?
also look how we're wired. Like being called brown instantly makes you feel like, oh, it's disrespectful. You know, when in reality it's a color and it
Right.
can mean beautiful.
Yeah.
For the story with my son, the reason why that happened is because if I'm not mistaken, like when you get dirty, and you get dirt, let's just say things like that. I think that's what he categorized it as, but yeah, I would say like calling someone brown or calling someone white, it's just colors,
Right.
but we take
Yeah.
it offensive.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we probably already lived through.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no,
saying?
I
And I'm and the funny thing is like it's part of our history. Unfortunately, no matter where you can go to fucking Europe, you can go to Central America, you can go to South, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can go to South America. Like throughout my years of learning, you know what I'm saying? Like when you think racism, obviously US comes to mind real quick, right? But like obviously it is and it still continues to be a reality. But like for example, like being Ecuadorian, right? Um, and your family and stuff like that, even in DR, PR, Cuba, it doesn't matter. Any Latin speaking country, like you see it, you live it, you go through it, you see it all the time, right? So like for example, growing up and getting more involved with history and everything, it was like when Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, there was another country I'm forgetting. They were part of the Gran Colombia. That all that region was known as Gran Colombia. They were one of the like they treated like racism was at another level. Slavery was at another level. It was just that shit makes that history makes US history look like shit when it comes to slavery. It was just crazy. some of the stories and some of the history and stuff like that, it was just crazy. But that being said, it's still wrong. But it's just like, for example, it's just those little stories that you hear or growing up and stuff like that, that you're like, when you're little, you hear them and you make nothing of it because you just think that's part of life. And then later on, when you become an adult, you be like, yo, this shit was so wrong. It's crazy. I think me and Marie have talked about it in the past. Like I remember there was times and stuff that I would, like, say, date a Dominican girl, and I would go over to her house and be like, "Ay, mira el blanquito. Ay, mira, tiene el pelo bonito. Ay, los niños van a salir bonitos." You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah,
just like, where that's what I can be a complete asshole, a dirtbag, but as long as el blanquito,
you're light
like
skin.
yeah. That shit is sad. It definitely is sad, you know? I don't
People
know.
don't realize it. I mean, there's a lot of races within your own culture,
Oof.
you know. And though, let's not forget when you date out of your culture, you know, it's
Yeah,
another.
that's one thing I wanted to ask you, right? When, like, dating now, I think I remember back in the days, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Back in the days, and I'm talking about, this was, I don't know, 80s, maybe 90s. It was just like people will stare at you. Like, I remember one time I went out. She was a morena. She was morena. She was Jamaican and stuff. So, and I remember being on the train with her and holding hands and just chilling, sitting down and stuff like that. And people were just staring at us, and you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And like, and I don't know if, I mean, obviously, I don't know if it would it be like that now? Because I mean, I've seen it, and to me, it's just like, oh, no, it's nothing. It's just a couple. All I see is a couple. I don't see like, oh, she's Asian and he's white, or she's Asian and he's black. I don't see that. I just be like, oh, nice couple. You know what I'm saying? Or oh, that's a cool mixture. Or like when you meet a kid and be like, oh, my dad is black and my mom is Japanese. I'm like, damn, that's a great freaking mix. Because I've dated somebody like that was black Japanese as well, and it was just like, she was gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. That, I guess that's what I wanted to ask you, was like, do you see it like on your end, like what, like when you see a mixed couple, do you just does it do you think about it, or it's just like it's just another couple?
I mean, nowadays, not really.
Right.
It has to be a crazy mix, and even that, it's already like things are normal in a sense, like in my eyes, at least.
Right. Like,
If you
what's fun. No, go
want,
ahead, go ahead, go ahead. No, no, go ahead. I'm gonna write it down because I gotta write stuff down because I'd be forgetting. But go ahead.
it's alright. It's your old age. It's okay.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say it's more of when you date somebody outside of your culture and then you meet the family, the old school family members. Like that's when you feel it.
Yeah.
Me seeing other couples, it doesn't phase me. It doesn't like make me do a double take like, "Oh shoot." You know? But me dating someone and then having to go meet their elders and stuff like that, it's when you feel it yourself, like, like you can feel that there's a culture difference. You can feel that you don't belong in a sense.
Right. Yeah. I guess you're right. Like that, the older generation is just
Yeah.
like, yeah. So anyway, what I was gonna say was, and you make a great point, because I got stories about that shit too. You know what I'm saying? But like, I remember there one story before I talk about this story. I remember one time I was dating this Japanese girl, and I think I was like a sophomore in college or something like that. Anyway, she came to pick me up. I remember my mom and my dad was outside, so she came in, like, she stopped in front of the building. Mind you, we was up in the concourse in the Bronx, so she stopped car, whatever, and so I had told her to honk the horn, right? So she honked. I knew it was her because I knew her car. So my dad. like looking to see who's honking, and then he kind of sees and he sees me waving. So he knew, oh, this girl coming to pick up my son and stuff. So I come downstairs. So she didn't get out of the car until I told her, yo, like you know what I'm saying, come out. Because my,
Mhm.
if you're gonna come pick me up, my parents they want to see like, all right, who you driving off out of respect, I guess, right? So she came out and stuff like that. So, you know, he said hi to her. My mom said hi, whatever. I didn't introduce her. I just introduced her as a friend and shit like that. Anyway, so like my parents, they're Spanish, right? So to them, they what they see is chinita. They didn't, right? It's not Japanese or anything like that. They just see chinita. So she gets back in the car. So my dad looks at me. He goes, "Una chinita." Like he was just surprised, like una chinita. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And that was it. That was the little remark. But he was just still like puzzled, like, word, a chinita? You know what I'm saying? So I was
Yeah.
like, I said, Dad, she's Japanese. But anyway, so that was the story on that. Even those little things, those little
Mhm.
word, like you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I thought it was funny. But the other story that I wanted to say was I remember I was helping this couple. He was Nigerian and she was from Sweden, right? So he was really really dark skinned, right? And obviously she's white as a snowflake. And the thought that came to my head wasn't like, yeah, that's a weird couple. I just said, yo, I want to see their babies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the thought that I have because I seen it's just some mixtures. They go real nice, and the beauty that they create together. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. That's the thought that I had. I was like, damn, I would like to see they chick because they were young. They were like, I'm gonna guess they were like 20, 25 to 30 range around there. They were young and stuff like that. So that was the thought that I had. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool because they met in school and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying, and all that good stuff. But yeah, that was the thought I had. I was like, oh, I wanna see what kind of babies they create. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
if you were to see him, you would be like, how they are like, I wanna know your story, how you met. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, when people be like, yo, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, right? Your beauty standards might be different from mine or whatever the case is, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, that's what I'm intrigued about. Is just like, yo, how did y'all get together? Like, what was it about him that you were like, yo, and what was about her that you were like, yo? Because there has to be a wow factor, right? It's not like there has to be something, you know? Because I mean, like people,
It's not always looks too, you know.
it got see phrase, time
What?
out, time out. See, you beat me to it because I was gonna because people every time I talk to people like, oh, I just want him to be nice and respectful. Yes, that's all cool. I get it. That's all nice. That's all cute. Respectful, caring, hardworking, all that list that you have. I get it. But you have to be attracted to him because if not, that list it doesn't become anything.
Which it goes to the point that you just said. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
Right.
You find attractive, I may not, you know?
Right.
Which is why even asking, like, oh, I wonder what got you guys to that wow factor, it's
Right.
like we might not even understand it.
You could. You're gonna tell me that no. Like, no, I'm sorry. Nobody goes, "Oh my god, he's so respectful." I that he and then tell me he's gonna be ugly as fuck to whatever your beauty standards are. Don't give me that crap. There has to be an attraction. Whatever your attraction was to that man, that's yours. That's why I'm intrigued, right? That's all. I'm not gonna say no. That's you're attracted because of his eyes. All right, I get it. Cute, whatever. But it has to be an attraction. You're gonna wake up to this guy.
Yeah, but you may not find it like that. Like,
I
for
don't get
example, at work, right? There's gorgeous
Mhm.
fucking man walks in through the door. And I melt in my chair. And I'm like, who the hell is that? Mind you, my other manager, he already knew who he was. He's known, right? So he was coming in to get, I think it was the F line that we had. And I'm melting. Like, yo, I was red. I couldn't talk. I was like, oh my God. The first thing they tell me is he got a girlfriend and the girlfriend is chopped. Like, but if you were to see this guy, right? To me, he was gorgeous, right? So now I'm picturing it and I'm like, what made you attracted to someone that everybody says that she's, not at that same standard? Because it wasn't just one person, it was like five of them.
Right.
They all saw me melting for him. Like I was on some like, I'll get the keys, he can drive home with the car for free. I don't mind.
But that's my thing, right? If I was to talk to that man and ask him, Fulanito, like, what made you, like, your woman that you have, what was it about her? He's going to say something. It could be her eyes. It could be something, right? It can be, like, I'm going to keep it a buck.
Uh-oh.
No, you see, I'm going to keep it a buck. I've been attracted to, like, eye girls. I'm going to keep it a buck. Eye girls. But when she was, not like, she wasn't crazy, like she wasn't ugly, right? Because whatever the standard is, it is what it is. But like in my eyes, if there's a standard. Like I don't give a fuck if you're the greatest person on earth. Nah, you cool peoples. I'm gonna put you in the friend zone. We just gonna be there. We chill, right? But there's been some that I'd be like, man, she's real fucking funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's cute. Like that, you find something cute in them for you to be like, let me proceed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But if I was to talk to Fulanito and be like, yo, what was it? He's going to find something. It could be like she's
Mm-hmm.
cool. It could be like there's something about her. Because sometimes, too, it's a certain level of confidence in a woman. Like I've seen women that I'm like, yo, that woman is sexy as fuck because the way she carried herself, the way
Mm-hmm.
she commanded the room, the way she just walked in. And it doesn't have to be um, like you know what I mean? Like I'm the shit, but there no, I'm here. Like, hey, I'm here. Like, cool. And I'm like, oh shit, that is sexy as hell. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And she could be flaquita, no tiene nada, no hay nada, but just everything from head to toe, her appeal is just off the Richter scale. And that could be something that Fulanito likes. She could have that for him.
But that's what I'm saying. It's again, it goes back and forth to what you're saying and what I'm saying. What he probably found attractive in her is what everybody's like, nah, fuck
Right.
that. But it's something that he found unique because he got it out of her.
Right.
And it's something that no one else is gonna see it because she only trusts him.
Right. It's a beautiful thing.
Right? So gorgeous. Whatever. I'm on the wait list whenever they decide to break up.
She Jessie already put herself on the wait list. She don't
I'm
even know. She don't even know where on the wait list she's at, but she
hey.
there. Though. I'm here. Okay, just
Catch
in
you
case
when
she fucks up. Yeah,
I catch you.
just in case she fucks up, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I guess it's crazy. Yeah, it is. It is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just I'm trying to think if there was. Hmm. Hmm. That's a good question. What's up, guys? It's your boy Skeen here, back to let you know and remind you that my co host Aisha has an amazing poetry book called Treetop Echoes. It is available now on Amazon as well as Barnes and Nobles. So if you're in the market for a new book, please pick it up. You will not be disappointed in this amazing poetry book. So the name of the book, once again, Treetop Echoes, available on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles. Get your copy today. I've seen, like, there's just people that have been in my life, not relationship wise, but just like a little fling or whatever, and they just had this persona of just super confidence. Like for example, like the Japanese girl, obviously, you know what I'm saying. She wasn't blah blah and blah blah. She was like your chinita Japanese girl, just slim, right? She
Yeah.
had slim. She like hair like the way you got it right now,
We
little
call that
chop.
slim no more because I be seeing some gym.
Oh
Chinita.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I think it's in the food. Really, that's gonna be another topic of choice because yeah, it's all the shit that's in food and stuff. But that being said, back in my day, um, but no, but her sense
Yeah.
of style was like fabulous. She was like absolutely crazy. And then the funny thing was, when I was dating her, like we knew we weren't. It was this was just gonna be like a summer like a spring summer thing, you know what I'm saying? Because she was like, my dad doesn't want me to date outside my race and shit like that. Like I remember so I went to Hunter College. So Hunter was on 68th and Lexington, and she lived like on 70 something street. So she had money. Um but I couldn't, like, if I was to go meet her, I couldn't meet her on her block. I had to meet her like 2 blocks up or something like that, like away. It was crazy.
Damn.
Back to what we were talking about, right? It was just like OGs or the older culture. There's some people that be like, "Nah, I don't want you to marry outside the
Yeah.
outside our race." I remember there was this girl that used to work for me. It was crazy. I never shared this with Ish because obviously Aisha is Palestinian, but the girl was Palestinian. I remember that, and she worked for me at Finish Line. But I'm gonna say this was what 2000, 2003, I think it was 2003, up in Connecticut, and her name was Rowan. I remember that was her name, and real pretty girl, real pretty. And one time we were talking, and she was like, I don't know how we came to the conversation, but she was like, "Man, it was something about the future." And I told her, Rowan, like in the future, do you want to get married or something? It was the topic was something crazy like that. And she was like, "Yeah, I do want to get married, but I think I'm gonna have to get married like in my own culture, right?" And I was like, "Why?" Because my dad doesn't want me to date or marry outside my culture. So I was like, "Oh, okay. How do you feel about that?" Just me being, I wanted to learn. Like I didn't even
Yeah.
realize that shit still existed. And she was like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah." And then I said, "So if you can marry whoever you want to marry, who would you marry?" And she was like, "Oh, I want to marry a Spanish guy. Like I like Spanish men and stuff. Like my boyfriend right now is Spanish, but I got to keep it on the low, on the hush." So I remember that little things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm growing up and stuff. So I don't know. I guess I don't know if that still happens nowadays. I'm not really sure.
I think it's a little less now, but then I can't really speak because it doesn't. My mom is okay with who I date, no matter what culture it is. She's just she likes to joke around and just be like Dominican again, But
Yes, he
but
love that Dominican.
yeah, but my mom is pretty open with me with dating whoever. All my sisters.
Dominican.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're Dominican and you're single, it's at Yessi too cute on the gram.
No, it's all right. It's okay. I
I
became
remember,
it.
I remember Jesse wanted to touch on the topic, don't date Dominican men. Would you like to elaborate on that? Because there was a couple of cats that were like, "Oh, word."
Well, at that time I was mad and I was fucking tight. Just came out of a breakup and I said, I'm done. I'm done with Dominicans. Screw this. I'm going to like a different culture. Like, I think I just needed a detox. But I can't get rid of Dominicans. They're everywhere. They work with me, my best friend. So it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Especially like if you're in that, if you're in that area, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like here, like in North Carolina, there is some definitely because I think I shared a story with Marie, and I don't know if I shared it with you, but I was kind of I remember we went somewhere. It was somewhere here in Raleigh. It was like in downtown Raleigh, something like that. And so me and this coworker of mine, we went to this place and like two stories, 2 stores down, it was Dominican barbershop. You know what I'm saying? They had la bandera and all that. So I was like, yo, let me just go in there because I just wanted to hear the dímelo, you know what I'm saying, all this shit. So I walked in, and one of the guys greeted me. He was like, "Hey, man, how are you?" and stuff like that. So they had the merengue in the background and everything. So it felt good. You know what I'm saying? It felt like, yo, I miss home. You know what I'm saying? So I told him, I was like, nah, loco, I just moved down here and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I saw the flag and all that, and it just reminded me of home and stuff like that. He was like, "Oh shit, that's what's up." And we were just talking and stuff, blah blah, just shooting the shit. You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So like I asked the dude, like, "You own this? You own the business?" He was like, "Nah, man, my dad does and stuff like that, and he's been out here like for 10 years and stuff like that, blah blah blah." So it was just like, just you know what I'm saying. I just told him I just want to sit here and just chill. You know what I'm saying, for a couple of minutes.
Weirdo.
It is, but I guess when you get older, you don't really care about people thinking it's weird or something. I just felt homesick, and then just being there, just con el tigueraje and all that, it just felt like it felt good. You know what I'm saying? Just to hear, dímelo, loco, yeah, loco, ay, mira la chori, loco. You know, it just felt so good.
You have
So
no idea how much they consume you as well. Like they're everywhere. Like in Georgia, for example, being in Georgia, there wasn't a lot of Dominicans neither, but there were a lot of Puerto Ricans.
gotcha.
And I'm half Puerto Rican, and I even felt out of place. Like I was like, oh, this isn't what I'm accustomed. Like, you
Right.
know, their their music is, we hear the similar music, but it's still slightly different.
Hmm.
They're more with the perreo and the, that kind of music. And I'm like, where's my bachata and where's my
Right.
dembow? Like, where's my Dominican guy? Like, you- so it felt very weird in Georgia
Right.
because you don't see much of them. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
They were probably like maybe like, what was it? I think they told us that there was a town where you saw more Dominicans than anything. So, but it was like 2 hours away from where I was staying at. And I was
They're
like,
like, oh,
drive all of that, that's thirsty.
yeah.
My
Like
end.
the shit is like trying to find a plátano down here. That shit is
Oh, yeah.
hard.
Georgia, too. You
Yeah.
were not able to find plátanos, maduros. Like, we were like, what the hell?
Like today, I was off as well, so did what I had to do, grocery shop and the whole 9 yards, went to the gym, whatever. But at the gym, it was just salsa merengue. That's all I was playing in my headphones and stuff like that. So on the drive home, there was a song that it was on a Enrique Iglesias album and stuff because it was on shuffle, right? So I was just playing merengue bachata and stuff from Apple and stuff, and all of a sudden the song was called Loco, and it was Romeo Santo and Enrique Iglesias, and the shit was on point because I hit this shit. I was on repeat. Let me find out. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like sometimes I do get homesick. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yo, let me just play the music and just think of times where we bugged out or little things that you know what I'm saying. Anthony Santo, like you know what I'm saying. Like I remember listening to that in the stock room at 688 and in Jersey, and we would just like be dancing and or whatever. So it was just those little connections. So yeah, sometimes I do miss just being involved and listening to the culture and stuff like that. So it's something that you grow up with, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
and it, and it's embedded in you and stuff like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I do miss that.
I
I
agree.
do.
I think we take things for granted and we kind of like, for example, when I did that move to Georgia, I was ready. I was like, all right, I'm out. Whatever. Not gonna miss it. Like, and instantly, it was a culture shock because everything over there was a lot slower. Everything over there was a lot different. It wasn't the same way as here. Like you can walk down the block and there's a bodega open. It wasn't like that over there. Everything was you had to drive. And then coming back, like even today, like my son had a baseball practice at La Marina, and I
Hmm.
was sitting there and I was looking. There's a beautiful view where the baseball field is at, and you can kind of see the bridge.
Hmm.
And again, 34 years old, and I was kind of like, wow, I never thought that this bridge was beautiful. I always saw it and I was kind of like, whatever, it's a fucking bridge. Like, we live here, we don't even view the small little beauties of what we're surrounded by, you know.
Yeah.
And even so, like he was playing, and my youngest was hungry, so we ended up walking. We walked. We walked from La Marina all the way to the one train to get a patacon because they're just amazing down there. And
Yeah.
just walking it because I didn't want to look for parking again. We walked it, and you see like the guys in the corners playing their music. On the other side, people washing their cars. Every block had a different kind of music and sound to it. And when you once thought that that was just noise, today made it look, it was like, wow, I kind of missed this. I kind of didn't realize how nice this is. Like this feels home. This feels like
Yeah.
home.
Yeah,
So
that's for sure. That's for sure. Quick story too, like now that you said La Marina. So, obviously it is what it is now. And then, people go to it and they think is amazing. I remember back in the days, that same little park that you went to, right, was always there because I've played in that park many times. But there used to be a shack right where the dead end is, right? So the park is on, like when you're walking the park, you go up that little hill to go into the parks, right? But
hmm
right there used to be this old dirty shack. And they all they used to sell there was fritura. It was just whatever. It could be pork, fish, but it was all fritura. That's all. And all the taxi cabs used to stop there. It was this little Jesse. It was a horrible little shack, and that was what was before the marina was there and stuff like that. And it was just like this little shack where people used to just los taxistas paraban ahí to eat food, fritura, and all that shit. And that's what it was. And then like many years later, I remember it was like, yo, this place La Marina. La Marina was like, what the fuck is that? Like all of a sudden I started hearing, and I'm like, that's where the shack used to be, and now is this like gorgeous place and stuff
I used
like that.
to work at La Marina.
Yeah,
It was nice. You made a lot of money.
I
It
bet you did. Bet you did.
was really nice.
Well, yeah, good times. But
La Marina days.
yeah, but here's the sad part, right? Here's another thing that sort of aggravates me about like the way when we started this podcast about colors and racism and y esto y el otro, right?
hmm
So like a racist would go to another country, embrace the culture, or be here in their own states, right? Wherever they at. Cinco de Mayo, let's get twisted, right? They'll celebrate whatever, but they don't want to. They don't want nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? There's a separation. Like I'll take your culture, I'll enjoy your culture, I'll enjoy your salsa, I'll enjoy this, I'll enjoy that, but they don't want nothing to do with you. And I think that to me is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
think I, I think that's I'll eat your food. You know what I'm saying? I'll enjoy your culture, but I don't want nothing to do with you. I think like one of the things that I love is like I love learning about people's culture, no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, growing up, just like you, when I grew up, it was Dominican, Puerto Rican, a todo lo que da, from Washington Heights all the way to the Bronx, right? So, sometimes when I'm talking to someone, and probably the same thing with you, like when I'm talking with a bunch of Dominicans, and all of a sudden Dominican side comes out of me, and it's just like, yo, this dude is Dominican, right? I could be talking to Puerto Rican and Chacho, and all that comes out of me naturally, right? Because that's what I grew up with. But when they find out, oh, I'm Ecuadorian, they be like, ¿de dónde? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case is, right? So it's like that's part of our culture. That's who we are, right? That's why, like, when I first met you and you were like, yeah, I'm half Puerto Rican, half Ecuadorian. I was like, oh shit, crazy. That's what's up. And like, to me, it was nothing. It was like, oh yeah, cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no big deal because that's the culture that we grow up in. But I don't know. It's just it bothers me. It bothers me when people be like, "Yo, man, fuck this, fuck that," and the same people that say "fuck this, fuck that," Cinco de Mayo comes, they want to get twisted. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Word, you like tacos? You know what I'm saying? You like chimichurri and all that? You dumb piece of shit."
Yeah.
That's kind of bothers me a little bit.
I feel like I mean, hmm, it bothers me too, but at the same time, um, I feel like I got so used to it that kind of like how you said earlier, I feel numb. I'm sorry, Milo's like in the way. Um, I feel like in a sense I got that from my own culture. And so sometimes when my own culture gets, I guess I'm picked on, a little part of me is kind of like, that's good for you, you know?
Yeah.
Because I feel like being half, right? I'm half Puerto Rican, half Ecuadorian. I never felt fully inclusive with neither of my cultures. So it's like my Ecuadorian side, it was I'm not too Ecuadorian for them, and my Puerto Rican side, I'm not too Puerto Rican for them. So I always felt like I wasn't wanted on either side
Oh,
because I was
wow.
half. And so for me, growing up, I guess I grew up always in that mentality of like, I'm an outcast no matter what. I'm an
Wow.
outcast because I'm Hispanic, because I'm a woman, I'm this, I'm that, and with even my own family, my own culture itself, I still felt like an outcast. So
Wow.
when certain things kind of happen, it's not that I want to say like, oh, it's whatever, but it don't hit me as it hits somebody else who is like fully Ecuadorian, fully Puerto
Yeah.
Rican, fully, Dominican or fully Jamaican. I just kind of feel like, well, I feel like every culture does that in a
But,
sense.
well, like I'm glad you said that because like my daughters, obviously they're same. Like you know what I mean, half Ecuadorian, half Puerto Rican, right? And I think that's a good question for me to ask them about their culture, what they think about their culture. That's a good question. I'm gonna ask that. But it was just like today I had that thought, right, while listening to Romeo Santo and a little Enrique Iglesias and merengue and all that bachata that I was taking in and stuff like that. Like there was a moment where I was like stopped at a red light and I was like, yo, like I love being Spanish. There's just this feeling of just, you know, like anything that we do is just cool. You know what I'm saying? From like the food, the dance, the the relajo, the broma, the everything that we do, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. It doesn't matter if you're, like I said, if you're Dominican, Ecuadorian, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Chilean,
Right.
Argentinian. Every just we just it's just cool. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I really love it. Like it was one lady, she, little white joint and stuff like that. So she was coqueteando conmigo and all that stuff, and then and then I told her I was like, "Listen, I talk English, but I love in Spanish." You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, whoa, and that's that.
That was a
But that's
nice
the
bar.
truth, huh?
That was a nice bar.
It was. Yeah.
Ski still got it.
Okay. I gotta. But it was just like it's just I don't know. There's just something about it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, it's like now it's like there's this just pridefulness in me. Like every time, like I don't know when I'm talking Spanish, when I'm just in just like being in the just flooded by the culture and stuff like that. It's just something that I love. You know what I'm saying and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's just something that just popped into my head and stuff. But just loving the culture. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Do you teach your daughters like your culture, like the Ecuadorian culture and the Puerto Rican culture? Do you guys kind of like just let them kind of figure it out for themselves in a sense?
No, that's a great question because I think we've talked about our cultures and stuff like that, like through through our family history. You know what I'm saying? Just giving them a little background on like their grandparents, from the Ecuadorian side, obviously. Sorry, and then talking about like I mean, like I'll talk to them about Puerto Rican culture. Like I one thing one time I asked them, "Do you celebrate like Puerto Rican Day?" They
Me?
have no, no, no. I asked them, and they were like, "No." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to them, it's just like I don't know. Like they're just like, yeah, that's not. I don't know. That's a great question, but I know I asked that, and they were like, "No." But you know what I'm saying? It's just like Sophia has fond memories of Puerto Rico. Like she has these fond memories of walking in Old San Juan and just the little bricks on the floor, the cobblestones and stuff like that. So she has great memories of that. Like I don't know if her mom has really spoken to her about that, to be
Mhm.
honest. She's they've both been to Ecuador and they love, I mean, obviously they've seen the good side of it, you know what I'm saying, fortunately. But no, it was just something I guess that's a good question to ask because I think they might be a little bit more, you know, not that you're picking sides, but they might be a little bit more on the Ecuadorian side because my mom talks to them a lot, or my sister and stuff like that. So, that's a great question. I'm gonna have to write that down and kind of ask them like what do you know about your culture?
My kids are, boy, my kids are Ecuadorian, Puerto Rican, and Dominican. So,
Yeah, but that's that. I think that's awesome. You know what I mean? If you think about it, and they're able to embrace their culture and see the beauty in everything. I think is amazing. I think is like, for example, like when you said I know what side,
mhm.
you're both sides. It's just the beauty of
Yeah,
being both. You know what I'm saying? I think is amazing. Like listen, like my kids are Puerto Rican, right? Because of their mom. I love Puerto Rico. Yo, when I tell you I love Puerto Rico, like when I think Puerto Rico, and it's gonna sound cheesy, but I love it anyway. I
but
think of like right. I think about I get there, I'm in the airport, the doors open, and I step out, and the wind hits you, and there's something about the wind, about the environment, the surroundings. It gives you this crazy energy. It's just to me, I love that fucking island. I've been to other places. That island is the only place where I just like, oh, like it just like all of a sudden, like you get monster skiing out there. I'm dangerous in Puerto Rico,
see, I feel the same about DR.
right? Yeah, that's what it is. Now, Puerto Rican women, stay away from me. We not messing with you respectfully. I love ya, but now I don't need that in my life.
Yeah, I think as I got older, I kind of embrace the when I was a kid how I kind of felt, and then I said, you know what, I got to take it in matters into my own hands. So I learned from each side. I picked what I liked and what I didn't like from each side, and so now I kind of like make a joke of it. When Puerto Ricans are acting out, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm Ecuadorian. When Ecuadorians are doing something that is embarrassing, I'm not Ecuadorian. I'm Puerto Rican. But I have taken that to now joke around with it because of how I felt when I was raised, when I was brought up.
Right.
So now I can joke and be like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, it definitely is. But just some great questions I need to ask my daughters about their culture. You know what I'm saying? What they know about, what they want to know about, stuff like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think that's good. I think I got to plan another trip to Puerto Rico. Yeah, chacho.
Oh man. Where will you go in Puerto Rico? Oh.
Here's one thing though. Every time when I go to Puerto Rico, I gotta go. I have to go to Old San Juan. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just that gives me that. I don't know. It's something. It's magical. It's abs- I'm not even lying. I'm not even trying to be like, yo, dog, you wildin'. But to me, that yo, every time is just like, yo, I can feel it. Like I can look at a picture of Puerto Rico no matter what, and I could feel the wind. I can see like I have my friend, um, um, she's she was married for not married, but they were together with my cousin. And
Mhm.
they split up. They had two kids. She still lives out there with them and stuff like that. I consider her family. I consider her like my cousin. So she's out there. She's with her new boyfriend, whatever the case is, and she's always posting these amazing videos and pictures of like Puerto Rico and the beaches and whatever and this and that. Every time she posts a picture, I can feel the wind. I can my senses
Yeah.
just I can feel it. There's some pictures that you see and you can feel. And that's amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. So yeah, I definitely gotta go to old San Juan, you know what I'm saying?
Pictures are a magical thing. I say
Yeah.
that.
Definitely true. I love that. I love photography and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, so this was we started out, we ain't know what the hell we was talking about.
I
You
know.
know what I'm saying? But this was a super interesting culture related episode about
Yeah.
just from the beginning to the end, just different colors, the beauty of different colors. The colors when they come together, they create other colors that are amazing. Um, culture, food, you know what I'm saying? Bachata, all that stuff. You know what
The
I'm saying?
music.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Dembow, el perreo. Yeah, you remember before we get out of here, you remember there was a party that you were there too. You, Ruse, Marie. Anyway, it was just crazy. And I remember I don't think I was married at that time. I think me and Haiti was just still boyfriend and girlfriend. Anyway, Big Shorty invited us, so we went and stuff. And we were all dancing. We was just cooling. Everything was fun. You guys were talking to Haiti at that time, just talking whatever. And as the night went on, you guys got a little drinky drink in ya, and all of a sudden the music flipped, and reggaeton started playing. When reggaeton started playing, you girls just hit the wall, hands on the wall, asses out, and guys just came right behind you and started grinding. So while this is happening, my ex-wife at that time was my girlfriend. She just stares at me, looks at all you guys because all you guys did it automatically. The only one that didn't do it because she doesn't dance was Marie. So she was sitting next to my ex-wife at that time, and she noticed that Haiti looked at me. I was like she gave me a look like I'm responsible for you guys, and I was just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It was just one of those mad uncomfortable moments in my life where I was just like,
How Marie would say, sucias.
yeah, pretty much. I was just like, yo, because it was just like reggaeton started playing. You guys got up, hit the wall, hands on the wall, asses out. Guys started grinding on y'all. And I'm sitting there like, yo, what the fuck just happened? Sucias.
Sucias.
Oh yeah, nah, that's the culture for you. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
That was what 2000. I'm gonna say that was 2006, 2006, seven maybe around there. I remember it was a big shorty party. I
2000
remember
and
that.
no, it can't be. Had to be a little bit more. Probably maybe 2009. Because 2007, I was 17. And I was just starting with you guys.
All right, so then it was 2009 then, maybe.
Probably. That
Probably.
that's 2009 was when we were definitely bugging out.
Those are the Sucia Chronicles.
Those are the Remy days.
Ooh, y'all still got the tattoos?
I don't. I from what I know, I don't. Yeah, I don't even think Marie does either.
Did y'all cover it or something?
Yeah, sort of.
Okay. The Sucia Chronicles. Nah, it's all good. It was fun. It was fun stuff. Fun times. Fun times. Uncomfortable for me in that moment. Thank you, ladies, because that was a conversation on the ride home and stuff that it was super uncomfortable. Because the first thing she said was like, "That's what you guys do when you hang out." I was just like, oh, God. Well, I wasn't involved in those things. Jesse, don't laugh. I was not involved in those things. That was you guys perreando a todo lo que da. I was not involved in
Yes.
none of these events. Um, but yeah, nah, great. This was a great episode. Like you said, I think you said it on the text. It's like sometimes we just get on here, don't know what we're gonna talk about, and then it becomes a good episode.
Yeah, you were over here pressuring us like pick a topic, pick a topic.
Sometimes you got to come with a plan. You got to come with a plan.
Oh, this right here was a flow.
Yeah, nah, it's a flow, but sometimes too, it's just like if you don't even come with a topic that you can expand from, then it's just like, yeah, let's talk about the weather.
We should
You
talk
know?
about the bed routine. You're over there getting mad at 9 o'clock.
Who you talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Listen, man, when you old, you're gonna feel it, mama. You're gonna feel it. That's like me telling you, yo, it's what? It's 10:47 right now, right? And we're recording. And I'm telling you, yo, Jesse, get dressed. We're gonna go hang out. Back in the days, old Jesse would have said, yo, we there. Where we at? We outside. Now you're looking at 10:47. Tú eres loco. I'm about to put these kids to bed and go to sleep.
Is that you know what? Now, like I in that sense I do agree. Like my bed is way better than anything that's outside right now. So that's how I look at it. I'm like my
Yeah.
bed is comfortable, it cuddles me, I feel safe, and yeah.
Yeah. I just got an amber alert here
Oh
in Region 6. Did you get one?
no, no.
I don't know what Region 6 is. That must be here in Carolina, but okay. Amber alert it is. All right, guys. So this was another cool topic, another nice episode here with Yessi. Yeah, guys, embrace your culture. Hopefully we're leaving those old ways behind and stuff
Teach
like
your
that we
kids.
grew up with. Say it again.
I said teach your kids your culture.
That's for sure. That's something that I think that's the one thing I'm gonna take away from this one is talk to my daughters about their culture and what they know about it and what they want to learn about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in. We will talk to you next week. Until then, take care. We'll see you next time. Peace. Ay, el culture. Sucia.
Talking at Ish and Skeen.
Show you right.